is situated. But now this man will sit up here and talk about Stephanie Dolson. No disrespect, lovely player, lovely lady. But it's like, bro, we could definitely gloss over this conversation. Like, I was literally looking at one of the old videos we did, and like we're talking about we're talking about the sky, Devin. And he's saying, they have these notable players, Elena Deladon, she was over there, but then, she came back to the Mystics. So he gave a plug to the Mystics, right? Mm-hmm. Then he said Candace Parker, didn't say too much about her. Then said Big Mama Steph. And I'm like, who is Big Mama Steph? I know we is not over here giving nicknames for Stephanie Dolson.
Like that's what her handle was. Big Mama Steph.
Come on. You refer to her as Stephanie Dolson if you're going to refer to everybody else by their name. That's all I'm saying. Candace Parker and Elena Deladon, and then we go Big Mama Steph. Word. Cool. Bro. That's all I'm saying. So when you ever mention a team that has or has had a Mystics player on their roster, this brother is liable to talk about, and that's all I'm saying.
Hey, look, this is what I'm gonna say. Her and I had a nice 15, 20-minute conversation, right? When she was playing for the Mystics, right after we had drafted her out of UConn. And it was after a night of me being in the Arlington, and me and my home, we bumped into her at the IHOP. And she sat across from the table from us, and I was like, oh, snap, and we were up there chatting. Her and I were up there. We even had the same scrambled omelets, bro. And we were talking about basketball. We had a 15-minute conversation. So she got a special place in my heart because we were talking and grubbing.
I feel that, though.
I feel that, too, because I've had numerous interactions with players. And when I'm talking to them in DMs and stuff, like that means a lot because they go out their way to talk to people like that.
Exactly.
I understand you.
Now, Miss Clark, her fine behind.
Yeah, you ain't saying
that. I could agree with.
And you were talking to a parent for 15, 20 minutes. That's what I heard, Sharper. But I mean, I get it.
She rolled past, bro. She smelled like potpourri when she rolled past me too. I remember the scent, bro. I was like, dang. Like, I was about to go across the street on High Street and tell her
that.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Leave.
No, hey, look.
Nope,
please.
It's in there.
It's not getting deleted.
Right there.
You know what's crazy? She had a mask on, and she was shocked that I recognized who she was.
Oh, you sound like a stalker now, Sharper. Let's go ahead and start the episode.
Hey,
wow. He said he ready to with the mask on. No. Brother, I am trying to save you from yourself. Let's start, please.
No, I said go.
Sharper, I am you. Oh, buddy. Hey,
DC Rising.
Hey.
And she said yes.
That's
what I'm talking about.
Are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
All right, bet.
Bro, my heart swelled. Hey.
I am trying to talk on get the show started.
No, I'm just saying when she rolled past me, I heard Sade singing in my head.
Mute his ass. Oh my God. I ain't never done that to nobody before. I swear I thought it was gonna be Freddie, ladies and gentlemen. But that sounds like a lovely way to introduce the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Buck. It's your favorite show, by the way, if you ain't know that. But I got here my boys Sharper and Dev. He goes by King Dev. Fellas, this fool. Fellas, how y'all going? We're going to start with King Dev since Sharper's in timeout.
Oh, my God, man. What's going on, Trey? How's you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good about yourself.
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. What a great way to start the show.
Oh, yeah, it was a beautiful way to start the show. Now, let's see what happens when we unmute him. Y'all know how it goes. He usually be chatty, but let's see what happens. Sharp, how's everything with you, baby?
Everything's going good, man. Just waiting for this Mystics game.
You know what? I ain't even put in my predictions, by the way, on today's festivities. It is kind of crazy, but that actually sounds like a solid way to talk about about the season, actually. Fellas, real quick, what's like a season overview? Devin, I feel like we should start with you. Not to throw shade at Sharp, but you were saying something earlier about the season that you ain't really like, scheduling wise and whatnot. I felt like you might want to get that off your chest, off your heart, if you feel so.
I understand that in the past.
Let me get you on your soapbox.
I understand in the past that the players' president, Miss Neko Ogwumike, the lovely Neko Ogwumike, has complained about the plane issues. Like they can't charter or nothing like that, right? And so now the solution to that is the back-to-back where two teams are playing each other twice within 3 days. I personally do not like it at all. I don't like it because there's not enough time to get the proper adjustments. To be honest, I believe the Aces would be undefeated if they didn't have to play Connecticut two times in a row, in my personal opinion. Now, I do understand it's because of the traveling, but I mean, the WNBA is a business. It's becoming really popular. Find a way to get these ladies a charter plane. If it's from borrowing it from the NBA or if it's what they're doing with the Mercury and Brittany Griner in her situation. Figure out a way to get those ladies a charter plane, a private plane.
I get that. No, I agree with that. End of day, these are NBA players. We would treat with them with the utmost care, utmost respect. We make sure their security is intact. We make sure that they are comfy, convenient. Now to be fair, again, we understand that the NBA does bring in more revenue than the WNBA, so we do got that aspect as well to deal with. But I think in terms of getting these athletes safely for their jobs, that that it would behoove them to figure that out. So I'm not here to throw slander because I don't necessarily have a plan in place, a response, an answer to say, hey, here's what we should do. But I do say though that is a point of emphasis that I think we should think about a little bit more and try to actually come up with some type of resolution as well. Sharp, what's your season overview of the WNBA thus far? And you're still on mute, by the way, if you ain't know.
I mean, to be honest with you, are we surprised with how the season has? I'm not really surprised.
When you say surprised, you're not surprised about what?
So, like, you look at who at Mr. Dev's Las Vegas Aces are number one. You got the Liberty. You got the Liberty that are there at what, number 3?
Mm-hmm.
We're not really surprised. We knew. I think you and I had talked about it before the preseason show. We had talked about how they may not click right away. It's gonna, your turn, my turn to shoot. Chemistry's got to build up and everything like that. But once they get stuff going, that they will probably be in the top 5 in the WNBA. I'll actually be surprised. I'll be honest. Your Los Angeles Sparks, I was surprised where they are. Not saying they're a bad team, but to come from where they were last year to where they are now, I think they're 5th.
So you feel like, I guess as a whole, because we're gonna talk about the standings.
It's playing out. It's playing out as expected.
Okay.
For the most part.
Okay, got you. Yeah, I kind of say I had a couple surprises here and there. Some of them I understand. When you see like some of the maternity leaves and whatnot, some injuries and whatnot, kind of shook up some of the standings that I thought were going to happen. But end of the day, it's looking the way I thought it would. It's not too far off from where I had it going. So I talked on the show that I do daily on AMP. And I was saying, like, I kind of went on the predictions and whatnot. Some I did miss. I had to give a couple apologies to, but the other ones, like I said, they were due to injuries and whatnot. But
wait, hold up. Where did you have my Washington Mystics?
Let me pull up the actual.
Because I know in the past you and I have talked that the one thing holding them, back, has been injury issues over the past.
I think I said that too. I think they don't. They'll be right there with everybody else.
I had y'all 5th.
Okay.
So my predictions were, as a matter of fact, I guess this is a perfect time to transition. into the standings, ladies and gentlemen. So we got here the WNBA standings, and well, since we are talking about them, we might as well pull them up. Give me a second. Second taken. Now we got here the Las Vegas Aces, the Connecticut Sun, the New York Liberty, the Washington Mystics. I do believe number 5, looking pretty, is the Los Angeles Sparks. My Los Angeles Sparks, something nice, something slight. Something nice, something slight. Then we got here the Dallas Wings, roof, roof. And then we got here Chicago Sky, and then the Minnesota Lynx. Now, currently fighting for that number 1 spot for next year's draft. We got here the Phoenix Mercury, Seattle Storm, Indiana Fever, and Atlanta Dream. All right. My predictions for this season were Liberty, Aces, Wings, Mercury. A little, that's one of my misses. Mystics, Dream, Sun. I did have to apologize to us. Sparks, 8th. So I said I thought 6 or 7, so we were 8th. My bad, my prediction. And then Lynx, Fever, Sky, and Storm. So like the bottom portion, I do have right. Well, the Sky kind of surprised me, and then the Mercury, they lost Skylar Diggins Smith.
Can I say something real quick?
Real quick.
I just want to add that there's only 4 teams above 500. Only 4.
That's a very valid point.
Like that in itself surprised me so much. Like I've said it like numerous times. I mean, there is a team that's shooting at 93%. Like they've won all their games, but like still, like there's like literally there's gonna be like more than or about half of the WNBA right now is shooting at below 50%.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You said the WNBA is shooting below 50%.
Like literally, like everybody's like there's 50% of the teams that are below 500.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not surprised.
Or playoff teams, I'm sorry.
I'm not surprised from this standpoint. Like I said, you have injuries. Take for example the Dallas Wings. Okay, they didn't have Tierra McCowan for a large part of the season, and they have yet to get Diamond DeShields back. Plus, you had some rookies that you're trying to coach up. Your bench you're trying to get right. So it was a lot that they had to deal with. So them being number 6 right now, I understand they actually should be higher in my estimation. The Connecticut Sun, they've been playing pretty well. They surprised me, but like a team, say the Mercury, them not having Skylar Diggins Smith, and they're relying on their big 3. Stuff like that. Like it's like it makes sense why the league looks like this. And then when you think of teams like the Storm, the Fever, the Sky, even to a degree, the Lynx, I don't expect them to be in the playoffs. Like I didn't have them in the playoff hunt at all. But they're competitive teams, though. They have really good players on that squad. So in terms of this balance right now that you're seeing, I think it's just like for me, I thought it was. I always said it was more than a 2-woman or 2-team league, and I thought it was like at least 4, maybe 5 deep. And we're seeing 4 now, and then some competitors, which I think a couple of people in that 5 to 8 slot could rise up a little bit. But I don't know who was a surprise team for you guys. Who was a surprise team for you guys? Sharper, let's start with you since we started off with Devin last time.
Now I am sticking with your currently Los Angeles Sparks, just from where they were last year. And I know we still have more games to go, but so far, I think, and you can give your take, they've obviously so far exceeded expectations for the most part. Like I said, all the other teams are in the top 5 for the most part. Were with health and stuff like that, they were kind of predicted to kind of fall. And no matter outside of Dev's Aces, we all knew they were going to be probably number 1. I mean, you basically got the USA women's team, national team up there coming out in Vegas every night. So outside of them, I think all the other teams in the top 5 pretty much were expected to be there, except your Los Angeles Sparks. So that's a positive.
Okay. Devin, how about yourself then? I appreciate that, by the way. But yeah, Devin, how about yourself?
I said I have 3 teams, but one of them I'm eliminating because I didn't know how low they were. I thought they were a little bit higher than that. But these two teams, the Sparks, obviously, like I've said it before and I'll say it again, that Derek Fisher ruined that organization. And I didn't think that they were
We don't have to
even.
slander Eric.
I don't like the man. I live in LA and I'll go around and scream it out at crypto that I don't like Derek Fisher. Like
Eric, I
like,
tried.
Hey, look, that's what I've
like,
been compared to.
All right.
hey,
So
you a
you
better
saying
looking Derek Fisher.
so we got the Sparks. Who else you got? Who else you
So
got? Give me
and
that.
also
Give me your next best team if the Sparks was your
the
number one
Suns.
or two.
The Suns
Okay.
are surprisingly very, very good with how much they've lost. And it's because of the coaching. That is such a coachable team. It's like I've given Stephanie White my praises in the past when she was with the Fever.
Mm,
And I was so sad when I saw her leave for
mm,
college. But when she came back, I was like, okay, if that team is going to be a disaster at the very beginning because it's a new coach with some old pieces gone, some very important pieces gone, and it's going to be a change of culture there. But that team, not only beating the Aces, but they're like defensively really, really good. So definitely the Suns.
okay. Okay. I'm not mad at that pick, especially considering the fact that was actually mine. So since I gotta go with my runner up, I gotta say the Chicago Sky, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicago Sky were at one point in time number 4, number 5. I understand it was early on in the season, but still they're in the playoff hunt right now. And that was on a 6-game losing streak. They're still in the playoff hunt. So I mean, hopefully they get knocked down a peg because my Sparks are supposed to be playing them, so we got to do what we got to do. We got to get some get back. But I still am surprised by this Sparks. I mean, by this Sky team bringing in Marina Mabry, which I thought was a dumb trade, but it's proving okay. Well, maybe it wasn't as dumb as I thought it turned out to be. And the Kalia Copper's still out there. So and then I hate the fact they've had the injuries that they've had happen to them, but I even still with that, you've got those two, and then Courtney Williams kind of leading the helm, and then you have Elizabeth Williams out there still playing a solid role at the center position. I like the Sky out here, so that's my surprise good team. Now, fellas, who's y'all surprise bad team? We got to balance it out. So, Devin, who's your surprise bad team?
I'm gonna straight up say it. The Wings. The Wings. The fact that I watched them choke a 17-point lead to the Sparks, which
Okay.
I thought they were holding. I thought that I was like, oh yeah, this game's over. But then it's like history repeated itself. I've seen the Wings last shock because when they choked the lead, when I saw them play the Sparks many years ago, they were the shock at that point. But the Sparks came back and just beat them, and I was so disappointed to see that they choked the lead like that. Now I understand they got injuries and stuff, but you can't choke 17 points. There's not enough time. Like you gotta think about. There's not enough time to choke all those points. You can't.
I will say this to kind of come to the defense of the Wings, even though they lost to my Sparks, and I was surprised at that loss as well. Um, they were kind of playing a little out of position, like Natasha Howard. She had to play out of position for a large part of the season, and then like I said, you're missing Tierra McCowan and already Diamond DeShields too, so you're missing that advantage, and they have not been at full form yet, so that's why I'm kind of giving them a little grace. 7 and 8, that's not bad. Like they went they went on a little 3-4 game losing streak themselves. So I mean, I kind of understand. They're still a good team to me. And then like I feel like Arike, she's getting a little more consistent now. Satu's been playing extremely well, and then Natasha also with Tierra back, I think it's getting more into that scoring role, and that's going to be beneficial for them too. So I give them a little leniency, but I will say though, I have been disappointed at those comebacks. They've had strong starts, like that second game when they played against us. They came out and they started real well, and I was like, oh, bet I'm about to get this paper. And then we lost. Like, they lost. I'm saying we because I had put money on them. But like they lost, and I was like, wow. They went up early, and then the next time they played against us, the same thing. So I will give you. I will say that I have seen that pattern as well. So that is a little disappointing. Sharper, how about yourself? Who's your like surprise bad team this season? I just need one team. Just need one team.
Maybe Chicago.
Okay. Why do you say it's disappointing? 'Cause again, I just talked about them as my surprising team, so I'm feeling some type of way right now because I'm saying we because they were my team to pick. So we did lose Isabel Harrison, Rebecca Gardner, on top of Courtney Vandersloot, Allie Quigley, and Candace Parker in the offseason. So it's like you lose that's a lot right there. That's a contending starting five right there that you just lost in the span of a couple months, and they're in the playoff hunt right now, I guess. So that's why I say why.
I mean, I'll keep it a buck with you. I guess you can say that I don't have a real surprise team. Like again, I will say this. I would have thought that the Mercury would have had more. I would have thought they would have had more than 3 wins, but again, Brittany Griner, she getting back to it, getting her feet wet again. And Diana Taurasi is not the Diana Taurasi from 3-4 years ago. She's older, but still, you would have thought
go
maybe
8 years on that one. 8 years. Let's go 8 years on that one.
Ooh, 8
not
years.
4 or 5 years.
Oh,
8 years.
8 years.
Wait, 8 years on what?
And I'm saying that because
she's been
4 or 5
like
years
solid
ago,
production.
she hasn't. 4 or 5 years ago, she's still inconsistent and wants to chuck up shots and throw elbows. So
look at Trey's face. Look at Trey's face.
Trey knows this. There's
not to that degree though.
Like
you just expanded
Derek
upon
Fisher and Diana Taurasi.
You're saying DT for 8 seasons has not been it. That's what you're
saying. The last time I saw her play well was the year that they beat the Sparks in the Western Conference Finals. That was the last time I saw her play good.
Okay. All right.
Trey's mind is blown.
Yeah, very wow. That's Devin, that's a little.
Come on, Trey.
That's what we call a hot take.
From a former Sparks fan to a still Sparks fan, you gotta understand. You gotta understand where I'm coming from.
I'm not gonna slander. I'm not gonna slander DT. I'm sorry. You got a vendetta against DT. You don't like her. Like I don't. She cool in my book. I see. The man that sat here made me forget where I put my jacket.
Hey, look, I'm keeping it consistent. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna do none of that.
Fair. It don't mean it's fair. Oh my God, I can't find my daggone post. Now here we go. I was about to say, all right, that's tough.
What's she shooting? 20 and 10%?
I mean, you talking about right now?
Yeah, what's she shooting right now?
Bro, you trying to go at DT
bro,
right
the last time, bro, I literally saw her shooting splits one game, right? And it was like 6 for 20 or something like that. I was like, bro, why are you chucking the ball like that? Why?
I mean, she has hit them dunks too. Now let's not get too slanderous because DT has killed a couple teams now. Like she has gotten.
No. That shot,
so I think she's earned that right.
She led that Mercury team against the EDD MVP season. Cold, ice in her veins. But after all that,
some type of way because you brought up his Mystics. But maybe not. Look, ladies.
No. The Chicago.
This next subject. Who knows? We might have some support for the WNBA, or I'm sorry, the Washington Mystics. So with that being said, we got here the 2023 WNBA award predictions, and more specifically, we got here the MVP, the DPOY, the 6th Woman of the Year, the most improved, the Rookie of the Year, and the Coach of the Year. For some reason, when I saw most improved, I thought they had like a man moniker type of thing, and I was like, no, I got to change it to woman. But I was like, no, it's most improved. It was a stupid moment. Real quick, my fault, ladies and gentlemen. But fellas, let's go ahead and get on into it, shall we? Sharper, do you have your list ready at this point in time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But I'll let Dev go first.
I
know what you're trying to do.
I know why he wants to. I know what
you're trying to do.
Fine. We'll save it then. Dev, go ahead and list off your listing then.
All right. So for my early WNBA awards predictions, I got for the MVP Asia Wilson. It's that simple. But I have runner-ups, right? For MVP runner-up, Alyssa Thomas. Being able to break that triple-double record and the way she's playing, definitely a close candidate. It's honestly it's not. Brianna Stewart's a distant third. Distant third in my opinion. Now, Depoy, I got Alyssa Thomas. I was looking at some of the stats. She's leading the league in rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
And she's leading the league in steals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't see her on the blocks list at all, but like literally at all. But being first in 2 of the major defensive stats makes a lot of sense. Runner-up Asia Wilson.
Okay.
6th Woman of the Year, I got Alicia Clark.
Okay.
Easily. Comes off the bench, does work, does what she needs to do. Runner-up will be a surprise. I have Maureen Johannes from the Liberty. When I watched the game yesterday, I noticed that when she came in, she did make somewhat of a difference to the pace. Now, I wish she's played more minutes, but, there's not enough minutes to go around.
Okay.
Most improved, I have Carly Samuelson from the Sparks. Her shooting splits are absolutely insane.
Okay.
I believe she's shooting 50-50 right now.
Okay, who you got runner-up?
Runner-up from I think I got this wrong, though, because I don't know if she starts or not now.
Okay.
Michaela, I don't know how to say.
Yeah, starts. Yep.
She does. Okay, so I got that wrong.
Okay, all right.
I don't have a runner-up.
Okay, just listen. I mean, we know we got Leah Boston as Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Leah Boston, clear Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
Coach of the Year, I have. Coach of the Year, I got Becky Hammond, and runner-up, I have Stephanie White.
Okay, got you. Why did you shake your? Okay, all right, never mind. This is another discussion. Sharp, list off who you got for or you want? Fine, I'll go first since
I'll let you go.
Since it seems like an issue, since y'all seem like I'm gunning for Buddy. I got my MVP as Alyssa Thomas. Okay, my Depoy, Natasha Howard, Ruru. My 6th Woman of the Year. It is, in fact, Maureen Johannes. Like, I actually forgot about her until you said something about it, Devin, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was thinking in fact, was it last night or this morning? Maybe they should insert her into the starting unit and have Courtney Vandersloot off the bench because I do want a little bit of a better guard pairing. Like Sabrina and Courtney seem a little interesting to me. Like, it could work, but then Benaje has to be more defensive minded, and
right.
she's more of an offensive minded player. So I know it could get a little tricky, but Maureen Johannes has actually been playing pretty well off the bench. So I do like her as my 6th woman if I have to say somebody right now. Most improved, Satu Sabali. Just the way she's come off, just the way she plays, the consistency that she's actually played throughout the games this season. Easily my most improved. Rookie of the Year, like I said, Leah Boston. And then Coach of the Year, Stephanie White, because I had to give an apology to the Suns because I did not think they were going to be as good as they are, as good as they've been. And unfortunately, even though they lost to Breonna Jones, I still think they're going to be in the top 4, top 5 of the WNBA in terms of standing. So with that being said, it's got to be Stephanie White because losing Jonquel Jones, you would think they take a dip. And the fact that they were number 2 and still number 2 to right now as the video is being recorded, I got to give it to Stephanie White. So those are my predictions. Sharper, I don't know if you know this, but we kind of gave everybody gave their list. So for now you got to say you have to list off. You have to tell us who you had originally. I'm just saying,
he didn't change nothing.
Nah.
I know he did, though. I hope not. I know he did.
I gotta go. After doing some more research. I mean, she is Plum's teammate. I gotta go with Asia Wilson, who also is my mom's sorority sister.
So you're stealing Kelsey Plum's MVP from Asia Wilson.
Or
okay. That's cool.
I got that, and then
it sounds a little biased too because she's an AKA.
Hey, Ski wee.
Right, yo.
So for defensive rookie of the year, go with Boston, of course. With defensive player of the year, I'm going with my girl, speedy recovery, Shakira Alston. Coach of the year, I'm going with either Eric Thibault or Kurt Miller, your coach.
Right.
Most improved, I don't have one for that. Sixth woman or coming off the bench, my girl, Alicia Clark. As I call her, Miss Potpourri. That's her nickname in the DMV.
No, it's not. I promise.
It's not. It's not. I've
not,
never been to
ladies and
DC,
gentlemen.
and
Yeah.
I've never grown to DC. That's not her nickname.
It's only a nickname in the
No, you know why?
household.
No.
When I say Sharper household, I mean his room considers a household. Like that's
no. It's because her game is like buttery smooth, and it's like it's so
buttery smooth.
It's fresh. It's
refreshing. Is
refreshing.
the definition of potpourri to you? I've never had to Google potpourri definite. Like I've never. Like wow.
Look,
okay.
You had me.
You can edit that out.
No, we're not. We're keeping that.
Yeah.
No.
Like wow.
Oh gosh.
A mixture of dried petals and spices placed in a bowl or a small sack of perfume, clothing, or a room.
She's spicy. Why y'all trying not to lie? I see Trey over there trying to keep a straight face.
Let's move on. So we have Asia Wilson, right, for MVP, for y'all at least. And I say Alyssa Thomas. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This might be a little bit of a prediction, but I got to say Alyssa Thomas is going to have to win this battle because we're talking about how surprising the Sun are. And Brianna Jones is gone with the Achilles injury, which I hope she comes back next season stronger and better than ever. But if they're able to maintain a top 4 seed, respectfully, the Aces, like y'all said, have a super team essentially. So I mean, Asia didn't have to do that much. She dropped 16 points and 5 rebounds, and the Aces beat the Liberty by 18. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not a dominant game. That's just that's a so-so game. I expected her to have a decent game, not like that though, not that low. So again, like I'm assuming based on how much she has to, carry on her shoulders, even though DeWanna Bonner's been hooping. Alyssa Thomas, we're gonna see more MVPs. And I mean, if we're gonna give it to Russ for similar situation, and she's bringing her team to a better ranking, we got to give it to Alyssa Thomas personally. Like, I don't know. What y'all thoughts about that? Do y'all change your minds at all? Y'all still favoring with Asia?
I still favor Asia.
I'm still favoring
more, and the only reason why is because Candace doesn't have to do anything. She really does. Like yesterday was the first time I seen her drop double digits this year.
She's dropped double digits before though.
Oh yeah, but that's only because like I'm wishy-washy with how many games I'm watching this year.
But bro, if you like just off the I just look at the roster real quick off the names and then just look at, matter of fact, hold on. Let's do this. All right. So we're gonna pull up the Aces roster real quick. Cause that joint get a little disgusting. No. Stats look better. Stats look better. Helps out. Jackie Young, Asia Wilson. Like, I'm gonna just say right here, Jackie Young would actually be one of my MVP candidates. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You got Jackie Young, Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Candace Parker, Alicia Clark, Kirsten Bell. That's tough. That's tough. And then we got going to the Sun team. DeWanna Bonner's been hooping. Brianna Jones, who's now gone. Now after that, you got Tiffany Hayes, Dejanay Carrington, and Tisha Heidemann. Like Rebecca Allen, cool, but we're talking about guards. Even though she's a little taller, still talking about guards. You know what I'm saying? And we're bringing in 5 points, 4 points, 3 points, like that. that's tough in comparison to the Aces. So I mean, I don't know, bro. That's tough, and I definitely thought I was sharing the screen when I was doing that. My bad, fellas.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, we was right here with it too. I was really good.
I do want to say this too, though. Their team is very defensive oriented. They don't have to worry about chucking up points. As long as they stop the other team from scoring and then get those transition buckets, that's really all they care about. The Aces, they're good on both sides of the floor. Now, I did not know Jackie was averaging 19 though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. They're really disgusting when you think about it. That's what I'm saying. Like I personally go Alyssa Thomas on this one. Like I'm not mad at Asia getting the repeat, but I would like to see Asia like dominating the league if I'm gonna give her the back-to-back personally. Like for example, when Jokic won it, all right, the first time he won it off the games. Second time he won it, he improved his play. His team was injured, so you had an additional storyline to give it to him. This ain't that situation with the Aces. Like they don't have no injuries to worry about. So I need to see Asia really ramp it up. And again, Alyssa Thomas is giving me a good storyline. I'm not mad at y'all selection. I'm just trying.
I'm not mad at the Alyssa Thomas selection too, because she's triple double machine right now.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I think isn't her shoulder still messed? Isn't both of her shoulders still messed up too? So like, I wouldn't be mad if she won it.
Yeah. Now I gotta say for DPOY, I wanted to put Alyssa Thomas down because right now she's leading the league in defensive win shares. If you follow advanced analytics.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, but like she's leading the league. But to be honest with you though, when I looked at the history of the WNBA's DPOY listing, that don't mean a damn thing. It really truly don't. Okay, matter of fact, just to kind of give y'all the insight real quick, the DPOY, history, we had Asia Wilson 2022, Sylvia Fowles in 21, Candace Parker in 20, Natasha Howard in 2019, Elena Beard in 2018 and 2017. Those are beautiful years. You get what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
Yeah. And so now when you look at where's the other list? Okay, so the leaders in terms of record for defensive win shares, we have Alyssa Thomas in 2022, Jonquel Jones in 2021, Brianna Stewart in 2020, Natasha Howard 2019, Sylvia Fowles 2018, Sylvia Fowles 2017, Sylvia Fowles 2016. So they don't match up. I think the only one that matches up is like Natasha Howard. I think she won in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. So it don't matter too much, but it might. I don't know because again, Natasha Howard did win one. So I said Natasha Howard for me this season off the strength of Tia McCowan being out. She had to play their center, playing the 5 as a power forward, really small forward type player. It took a lot for her to have to do that on top of like pretty much being their anchor on top of scoring 16, 17 points a game. So that's the reason why I say it might be a little biased, it might be a little bit emotional, but I factored that in. That's my main reason for why she's there. Now, as the season goes on, that could dip because you have Satu and Tierra there along with Kalani Brown. So that does help. And Kalani was there to help out as well, too. So that might shake up some things. Alyssa Thomas might have been my backup again because she was leading in defensive win shares. But if not, Asia Wilson is not a bad selection. I can't hold you. So
I have her as a runner-up.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's between those three for me. But you say like, what was your main reason for Alyssa Thomas? I know you said that the blocks you didn't see her up there, which I
didn't see her on the blocks, but I saw her on rebounds and I saw her on steals. She leads the league in both of them, and the fact that she's leading the league in rebounds with all the dominant.
That's not surprising.
With all the dominant bigs, like I wouldn't be surprised if Asia was leading it. But I'm very surprised that she's leading it with Brianna Jones being able to do that job, but she's not there, and she's not there because of her.
I would only be surprised if if Asia was leading from this standpoint, because you do still have Candace Parker who gets solid rebounds. Like her rebounding stats might not. Matter of fact, hold on, what were they again?
7.2, I believe.
Yeah. So if that, nah. She has 6 right now rounding up. So if we got 6 rebounds rounding up, I'm like Jackie Young give you about 4, Chelsea Gray give you about 4. Like they got other players on their team who also hustle. So I mean, is it shocking if she got it? No, but I wouldn't be surprised if she got it too. I wouldn't put my money on saying she's going to lead the league in rebounds. So she has to do a lot of other stuff as well too. So,
but I mean, in order to get a triple double, you gotta get 10 rebounds. So I mean, I guess you're right. It's really not surprising that she's leading it.
well, yeah, I was I'm Alyssa Thomas has always been a solid rebounder. So I mean, her Sylvia Fowles might have been somebody who I consistently would say, okay, I think I have her over Alyssa Thomas. Right now, I wouldn't say there are too many players that I would put my money on getting rebounds over her just from just how she's built, from her motor. You know, like that's the reason why I say that. Like NECA might give her a run for her money, but I still might go Alyssa Thomas personally. So I don't know. And then now Sharper, real quick, you said Depoy was Shakira Austin. That might be a hot take for some, but she is coming back in a couple weeks. So give us your elevator pitch on Shakira Austin for being Depoy for you, because that's very surprising. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Sitting back watching her when the Mystics blew that 20-point lead to the Liberty last Sunday, and she got hurt. And watching her over the last couple games with her, for the ferocious way she plays, she's still working on her offensive game. I think her winning overseas, she said she was able to learn some new moves and work on some different skill sets that she thought needed polishing. But one of the main things they kept saying was the way she plays defense, the way she's aggressive on the boards. She's a shot blocker. She kind of reminds me of a Crowder that played, in the NBA. Crowder, like
James Crowder.
Yeah, a little bit. You don't see it.
The only reason why I say that's because Crowder is buns.
Well, no. Oh, no. Defensively. No. Like, she's solid. She's
I don't know if you want to consider. I don't know if you want to try to compare Shakira Austin to Jay Crowder, my boy. That might not be the best. Yeah, that might not be the best comparison.
Okay. I mean,
like you lose me right now on the Depoy, bro. Because I'll give you this: she's energetic. She's averaging a steal and a block, right? The Washington Mystics are fourth, to your point. But they also do have players like Brittany Sykes on that squad too.
And she's top 5 in steals as well.
Yeah, so and then in the defensive win share rating, she's high up there as well too. So I'm not trying to discredit Shakira Austin. I'm not trying to change your pick. I'm just saying, for me, especially with the injury factoring in too.
That hip injury is gonna hurt us. Even when she gets back after 2.5, 3 weeks, she's probably gonna be on a minutes restriction.
I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know, because I mean, was it a hip bruise or a hip? Like, I got to look back at
the one time they said it was a hip bruise, another time they said it was a hip contusion. What I was worried about, it looked like
hammy.
It was a joint, not the hamstring, but then she was grabbing her knee. So, and the way she was grimacing in pain and pounding the court, I was like, "Oh, her season's done. It's a wrap."
Yeah, injuries definitely hurt at the moment of impact. So yeah, it was probably an initial shock, but I think she coming back. As long as she's cleared, I would expect her to actually be fine. Again, like she's a hustle player. She plays off of EDD. She kind of I'm not trying to say a glue. I'm not trying to say a glue girl, because she does more than just those the dirty work. But
I know we know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I think she'll be fine when she comes back. So I'll keep an eye out for Depoy though. That one is interesting. I will say that. I feel like Alicia Clark versus Marina Jones or Johannes. I mean, I don't know. I got to watch Alicia a little bit more, because I can't comfortably say why.
She does that. The defense that she plays.
Yeah, no, I've seen
coming off that bench. It's like her being able to predict the lane, predicting the passing lane. It's amazing. I mean, she did it several times yesterday. I was like, oh, this is helping me with what I got to do for notes. This is perfect.
Interesting. Okay. I've seen her play before on of course on the Mystics, but then also on the Aces as well. She plays that forward spot. She's very versatile on the floor. Not to mention she can space the ball out as well. It's just I don't know. Like I don't have a reason to give her that nudge over Joanne. It's like I don't right now. Like, I gotta see a little bit more. Don't get me wrong though. She has the intangibles that you want though. Miss Potpourri, as some people call her. But I gotta see a little bit more out of it, just a little bit more. But
I'm not the only one.
yes, you are. Like I promise you. But the coach of the year, I think we might have all had a different answer. Just to recap, I think Sharper, you said Eric Tibble, Devin, you said Becky Hammond, and then I said Stephanie White. So, what was the leading reason why you said outside of bias, Sharper? Why did you go Eric?
Well, he would be
I
my
mean, he was
second.
your first one. He was your first one. He was your first one. So, like on your official,
So basically,
is it
I
Eric?
mean, yeah, he was on the staff. He was on the staff last year. Of course, his dad Mike stepping down, so he took the reins. But it's a different voice, and sometimes even if it's an assistant coach taking over as the head coach, players react even if they've been on the staff. It's different from when you're hearing it from an assistant coach, and that's your job as an assistant. They still have to answer to the head coach. So when you then become the head coach, you have to change. Sometimes you have to change the way your dynamics are with certain players and stuff like that. And sometimes they're running. I've heard they're running like some new offense or whatever have you that it took the players some time to adjust and get used to. So we always said with the Mystics, the one thing holding them back has been injuries. Unfortunately, we were just talking about it with Shakira also. We'll see how she bounces back. But it's a different voice in the huddle. And sometimes that could be a good thing. Sometimes that can be a bad thing. So I would say the reason why, and also he's fairly young. So that's another thing. Like, Mike was a well-known, respected coach throughout the league. So with a new young coach, even though he's the coach's son, and Mike still has his hands on that organization and pops in, it's still a different voice. And you don't know how players are going to respond to it at times, even if they've already been, associated with the team.
Got you. Okay. Dev, real quick, why did you go? And I want to say, Sharpie, if you need to head out too, you can always you can dip off, my boy. Appreciate you. Did you want to say anything before you leave?
So, guys, I misspoke about the Miss Potpourri. I apologize to all the viewers out there. Yeah, that was very unprofessional and not PC. So
Look, he's redacting because he knows that she's gonna see it.
she's a very lovely woman. I will say this real quick before I leave. She was great with the fans. She is dearly missed here in the DMV in the DC area. And yes, I apologize.
I got you.
Go Mystics.
Apologizes to miss a mixture of dried petals and spices placed in a bowl or a small sack to perfume clothing to her room.
Look, okay, when she rolled past me, I got a whiff of potpourri. It was very refreshing. Because anybody that's ever been to Navy Yard in DC is not the most pleasant smelling place. So when she rolled past me and I said, "Oh, go Mystics," and she stopped her scooter, and she was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking." It was like a breath of fresh air.
Oh, okay.
And I was swooned.
You were what?
What? With that being, I am out 85,000 before.
Appreciate you, my boy. I appreciate you.
I get DMs like, "Oh, so who's this Miss Potpourri?" So.
Nice. That could be a little interesting.
Hey, Dev, anybody ever tell you look kind of like Paul Pierce too?
No, bro. Now you want to start talking to me.
Hey,
Stop
I
it.
would say a little bit. No, a little bit. Like a
Nah,
little
I've
bit like
never,
Paul Pierce.
bro. That is the first time I've ever heard that.
No, I'm not trying to be funny. No, a
Nah,
little bit.
nah, I've never heard that before ever.
That's
Okay.
funny.
You are the
I
absolute
wasn't trying to
best.
be disrespectful. I know you
Nah,
in
you
Los
good, you
Angeles.
good, you
I
good,
know
you
you
good.
in La La Land. See, you not like your boy Trey where he be firing off jokes. So see, if I said something slick, I'm surprised he hasn't cracked a joke yet. He probably will crack a joke once I log off, but it's cool though.
Nah. If y'all want to see any jokes, I've done a couple jokes before. So yeah, nah.
Yeah, we gone tit for tat, but I will see y'all fellas.
Later,
my
sharpers.
All right,
It's always
y'all.
good talking to you, brother.
Likewise.
All right, I had to make sure he got his question. I ain't see his message until as he was talking. I was like, oops, my bad. But now, so we were last at you for Becky Hammond. What's your spiel for her on Depoy?
14-1 is nothing to scoff at. Nothing. And one of the notes that I have is that the Aces joined they joined a group with the Sparks in 2016 and the Comets with a 14-1 start. So only 3 teams have ever done that. And both of those teams went to go win a championship. So all I'm saying is, even though she missed those 2 games, which I strongly disagree with, yeah, like she's a part of the head coaching job is also making sure the assistant coaches are prepared to take over if she gets ejected. And those 2 assistant coaches did they thing in her absence.
Okay. I mean, I get that part too. I do understand why you go Becky Hammond again. They're number 1 in the league, and then they don't lose a beat when she comes back. I do understand that.
But I wouldn't be mad if Stephanie White won it.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you beat the Storm and the Sparks your first 2 games. Becky come back, so you kind of get a little lucky on that. But like you said, you can't take away from 14-1. Like, you still got to play these teams, even if you consider the Sparks and the Storm weak or weaker, right? At that point in time in the season, still, like, you got to win those games. So I'm not mad at that. I just went Stephanie White because end of the day, you lose Jonquel Jones, arguably your best player, a key cog in what some people thought was the future. Former MVP, right? That's a lot to lose in a player, and then you replace it with Breonna Jones, who you've been bringing off the bench. So now you got to replace your bench a little bit too. They have not lost a step. They're still number 2. So I'm like, I got to give that to Stephanie White personally. Alyssa Thomas is out there doing their thing. And on top of that, again, if they retain number 2, I'm easily giving it to her. I don't care what they.
Oh yeah, and that would be the only thing that would sway me.
Yeah,
that would be the only thing.
But even if they're in the top 4, you got to think like right now. Let's see, what's their ranking in comparison? I know they're number 2, but in terms of like team, like
2.5 games.
Yeah, so we got the Suns are 12-4, are 12-4. The Liberty are 10-4. Like, it's a game difference, 2 game difference between the Mystics. Like that could easily get caught up real quick because right now we're at game 15 out of 40. So we're talking about a little bit over a third of the season done. That's a lot of time left, and Breonna Jones is not coming back. So if they retain top 4 for me, I gotta keep Stephanie White for for coach of the year. But that's gonna be interesting. Do you kind of transition on to the next segment? Your playoff prediction. If you could, matter of fact, let me share the screen now. Who would be your teams to pick from in terms of making it to the playoffs? And let's just go ahead and pencil in. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's make it easier. What teams don't make it to the playoffs? Because it's 4 teams that don't. So,
the teams that don't, Seattle, the Dream, the Lynx, and Chicago. You see how I didn't say the Mercury, right? And that's because I've seen the Mercury in a hole, and they've climbed back and got 8th seed, and then go to the finals. So it's like I'm never gonna count them out, especially since Vanessa Nygaard is gone. Nygaard is gone, and Skylar may decide to come back because they've had disputes with each other. So
Yeah.
that plays a key role into it. And like you said, only a third of the season is done. We still got another 66% of the season to go. So
Facts.
there's plenty of
Yep.
time for them to get it up. Losing 11 games, that's not that bad. They can go on a crazy run.
They could. They could. Again, the Aces went 14-1. The only problem is they don't have the Aces talent. You do have to get Skylar Diggins Smith back, but there's no timetable that I'm hearing for her return. So, from my estimation, I just tried to do a little guessing, right? And I could be completely wrong, but it seemed like she might come back earliest August. That's a little tough if she does. Like, let's say she comes back August time, right? Which again, I don't know, but let's say she comes back August. That's a lot of teams, bro, to climb up because the Storm ain't nothing to scoff with. They got good talent, although it's a 2-woman race or a 2-team duo. But still, Drew Lloyd, Ezzy McElroy, they will make you work for it. And then you've still got, the Indiana Fever, who's a playoff team. And I don't think you listed them on your squad either, on your listing. The Dream, I do believe, is a playoff team. I'm surprised you had them off. The Lynx, they can make the playoffs, low seed.
Oh no,
I
no,
don't
I
really,
said no. I said the Dream are making the playoffs.
you said the Dream. Okay, so it
Yeah,
was.
the teams that
You
are
said
not is
four.
Seattle, Fever, Minnesota, and the Sky. Those,
Oh, man. Oh, okay. Sorry. So okay.
yeah,
Okay.
the 2 teams that are sitting at the bottom right now, they're climbing out
I'm
for
surprised you.
sure.
Okay, because I think the Fever could actually make the playoffs personally.
I'm
And they
50
almost.
50 on them.
Well, I mean, they almost have to because you got Kelsey Mitchell, who's been playing real well. You got Leah Boston, who, although I don't think she should have been All-Star starter, she got voted in as the All-Star starter, playing as an All-Star. You got also Alyssa Smith, which people might be sleeping on, the former number 2 pick last year. You got Erica Wheeler, who's a good point guard. Will put you on your ass if push comes to shove. So I think they have a good team around. No, seriously, they're just a 2 guard away
Yeah,
from really making some noise, bro. I'm not the biggest Lexi Hole fan. Like and then also I didn't like the way they treated Destiny Henderson. They should have kept Destiny Henderson. That would have been a really
hmm
good addition that they already had. So, but again,
I'm glad the
I'll
Sparks
be
picked her up.
surprised. Yeah. I hope we keep her too. But I'll be surprised too that if we see the Fever not in the playoff race. I can't lie to you because they have a good young talented team. Low seeded squad. I'd be surprised if they can't achieve that one. But okay. I I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not necessarily trying to pull the plug on the Mercury. I think the Storm. I think the Sky Fallout. I would low key like the Mercury to fall out of the running and try to get to the number 1 pick, or to try to secure a Paige Becker pickup because I do like Paige Becker and DT pairing. I
Oh,
would like that.
brother.
I really truly would. But on a serious note, I think just the idea of BG and DT coming back this season, you need Skylar Diggins Smith to showcase that she's like the top 3 guard, top 2 guard, whatever, like a top point guard essentially. Which on this team she would have had to serve as the 2 guard. So coming back, you got to showcase you're still one of the top guards in the WNBA and help out BG because, like you said, DT's getting a little older. Although as a third option, DT's still very serviceable. So I think this year you don't get Skylar Diggins Smith back, or at least it's uncertain. So I got Mercury, Storm, Lynx, and Sky missing the playoff. I'm really hoping that the Dream and Fever prove me right on this standings. But we'll see how it shakes. Now. It's NBA off season. We've been talking about WNBA for a while. So I just wanted your thoughts on these couple pickups. What was your thought on the Suns acquiring Bradley Beal?
I personally don't like it.
Okay.
I think that I think it disrupts them. They should just went out and got a point guard, an actual point guard, because I don't want D Book playing the one because that means that he's going to be facilitating, and I don't want him to facilitate. I just want bro to shoot, get to
But
your
he
spot,
just,
shoot the
but
ball.
he did show last year in the playoffs and throughout his career too that he can facilitate. And we do talk about players evolving and becoming complete players. We highlight, okay, Jamal Murray. He came out on as a point guard, playmaking the ball, not getting too many turnovers, but like double digits assists. So we've seen that Jokic is highlighted on his passing. Even people like Trey Young, LaMelo Ball, all these guards are getting highlighted as their passing. And knowing that D Book can, and knowing that the people he's passing it to is Brad Beal and KD or Aiton or maybe some other 3-and-D wing who like more than likely can get a quick little bucket. Like I think that's not a bad deal. Like so I do hear you on the from a disruption standpoint. Maybe defensively it might not be the best pairing, but I don't know. I think you kind of give the keys a little bit to D Book in a sense, and it's like go play pickup. Like it's either go like you're a scoring threat who now gets to play make, and I think we've seen that with James Harden. Except now you have better teammates on your team. It's just who's going to do the hustle plays, who's going to be the defenders, and I think overexerting these players could be a little worrisome because they both had Katie had injury, D Book had hammy injuries real quick. Brad Beal had injuries. So, I do worry about that aspect, but it is interesting. I could see them winning the championship. Would you put money on them winning the championship at all if you could? Okay, got you. Keep that easy. Let me see who else we got here. Kristaps Porzingis. Do you feel like that makes the Celtics the favorite next season? You're pairing them, really? Now, I mean, I'm just giving a little background. This is a 20-point per game scorer who was called the unicorn before, and still called the unicorn, nickname wise. So I mean, stretch the floor out, also give you 2 blocks, almost 10 rebounds. That don't help out the Celtics for you.
How many games do you think he can average in the season playing? What?
Well, he played 65, 68 last season. He looked stronger, looked healthy. So I mean, if you're talking about the injury history, yeah, that could be a little worrisome. But I think also
Boston can't afford that.
They can't afford that, right? Yeah, I'll give you that. But
they really can't.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble because again, like you said, the health factor you got to worry about. But I gotta say, I do like the addition. I think again, bigs take a little while to develop. He came into the league not too long ago. About 5 years you got to take to develop, and I think he came in like what was it, year 8 now, something like that. So 7, 8, something like that. So I think you might be safe on this gamble, bro. I really do think you might be safe on this gamble. But I understand trepidation though, especially you losing Marcus Smart, the heart and soul.
Yeah, that one hurt me, and I'm not even a Celtics fan. When I saw that they let him go to the Grizzlies of all teams.
I mean, but to be fair though, the Grizzlies, okay, you got Tyus Jones, Ja Morant, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bain. Like I understand Marcus Smart can defend a lot of people, but like respectfully, he's gonna have to come off the bench. But you already got Tyus Jones there. So I mean, it almost feels redundant. It doesn't seem like it addresses a need specifically. He can start, but if you're gonna have a 3-guard lineup with Marcus Smart, Desmond Bain, Ja Morant, who gonna be guarding the small forward spot? Marcus
Wait,
Smart.
hold on. You have you thinking of a 3-guard lineup? I have it with when he comes back. Ja, Marcus, Desmond, Triple J, and Steven Adams.
Well, yeah, the bigs we know about.
Yeah,
the bigs we know about. I don't like 1 through 3 having to guard someone else's 1 through 3. Like Desmond Bain is a good defender, 6'5". Marcus Smart, about 6'3", 6'4". Ja Morant, about 6'3", 6'4". About 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". Like he's just athletic. So I mean, like I said, Marcus Smart has shown he can guard centers, he can guard play instance. So I wouldn't want him being my 3, my small 4. I need to replace him from that standpoint.
I'm gonna say this. That me personally, I would try to put Desmond on the bench then, because Marcus is too good he's too good of a defender. I'm telling you, he's too good of a defender. Like literally, he is what they like. They literally say it's saying this. They replaced Dylan Brooks with Marcus Smart. That's what they did, honestly.
If Marcus Smart was 6'7", I would be okay with that. But unfortunately, he's not that tight. And when I'm talking about Desmond Bain, I got to look at a man who can give me 20 to 25 points, possibly maybe 20 to 22. And then on top of that, give me about 4 assists with some solid defense himself. Maybe not Depoy, but from a guard perspective, respectfully, Marcus ain't giving me that. Like
All, all,
he's not.
all I'm saying is like, look, I want both of the depoys on the court at the same time starting. They're back-to-back depoys, I believe. I believe Marcus won it last year, and then Jason just
I'm
won it
cool.
this year.
I get that logic. I get that logic because you do want to have a good defensive team. I'm just saying I can't put Bane on the like if I got to put Bane on the bench, like it we're pretty much having a start or cut scenario right now, Bane or
Yeah,
Marcus Smart, and I would think most people would agree with me on you got to start Desmond Bane, but that's interesting too because Marcus Smart also has his notoriety, his cachet amongst the league, so I can understand why you want to go that route, but okay, I mean I get it. That's tough. That I don't know if that classifies as a hot take or not. But that is interesting. That is interesting. What are
yeah.
your?
I do like the pickup though because of the fact that John needs that veteran presence. He
Oh
does.
yeah. From a Ja Morant standpoint, it works out wonders.
Yeah,
He's somebody if you plan on keeping Ja Morant, I would actually be okay with keeping Marcus Smart there for giving him the Udonis Haslam role.
basically.
Yeah,
But that's not happening because the second he hits free agency, he's going to head back to Boston.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, champ. I mean, you trade me, I might feel some type of way. I might find some value on another team. I don't necessarily, and who knows? Maybe Boston does not want him back. Like they don't really be bringing back guards like that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But speaking of guards, what's your thoughts then on CP3 going to the Warriors? Does that make it? I asked this earlier to some people. Does that make the game of basketball more entertaining for you? Seeing Steph Curry and Chris Paul on the same team as opposed to being rivals to a degree? No?
I
Damn,
mean,
nobody else finds that entertaining? That's so tough.
I don't find
Okay.
that entertaining at all.
Okay.
But it's only because CP is washed. Like, I
Wash
don't see any. Yeah, he's washed.
Wash is so tough. That's so tough. Do you
Like,
think
come on now. He got tossed by the Wizards. The Wizards.
what do you mean?
They didn't keep him. They didn't keep him in that trade. They
Why
just
would
said,
but why would you keep Chris Paul at age like 38? Not like I'm not keeping Chris Paul at this age.
point exactly. Point exactly.
But on the Warriors though, like they're not the Wizards aren't a championship team. You should have
I don't.
I wish
If I have Steph Curry, I don't need Chris Paul.
I don't
Period.
know because you need that. You
And
need
I
someone
don't want.
to help.
We're not going to put Chris Paul on the
You
bench,
need.
are we?
You can put Chris Paul on the bench. What you talking about? Why can't I?
Well, I'm just saying.
Now you can play Chris Paul with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, but you do not have to start them at all. They do not. It can easily be the Warriors starting five with CP3 on the bench, mentoring the young boys and getting them boys right. Because you got an athletic Jonathan Kuminga over there still. You got a Moses Moody who can shoot. You got a whole bunch of players who are young and up and coming. So I personally think,
Make him
you
a
know,
coach then.
I,
Because all I'm saying is that in that series, in the every playoff game I've seen CP, and he only did good in one game in last playoffs, and I'm
well,
like,
last playoffs he was also injured. Like, he pulled his
can
hammy.
can 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 I rant a little bit? Just real quick. I hate it that these players use injuries as an excuse, and then they still proceed to play. If you're injured, don't play because if you use it as an excuse, we're gonna get mad. It's like you had a built-in excuse to beat garbage.
Did he come back game five?
Now, if he injured, sat out, and came back too early, I that's still somewhat your fault, but it's also some of the organization's fault because they still have some stops in getting you to, relax and get better. What happened?
Oh, we got some stuff. Oh yeah.
Oh, is it interesting?
Yeah,
Because my
no.
thing hasn't been going on. It hasn't been
Oh,
going off.
we got some stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just go ahead and get right to it. Let me just do
Trey
this.
bomb? You
Yes.
gonna get a Trey bomb?
Like, yo, all right. So we got here um breaking
Oh
news.
yeah, I did see that.
Kyrie Irving, 3 years, 126 M's. But then also Draymond back on 100 M's. Jeremy Grant returning to the Blazers for a buck 60 over 5 seasons.
Whoa! Wait a minute. The
I don't
one
know if Damian Lillard
blowing.
is leaving now. That's
He's
interesting.
he's
But
not.
then you got Lakers getting Gabe Vincent 3 years, 33 mil. The Wizards got Kuzma 4 years, 102 mil. But to be fair, who else were they doing anything with? Bruce Brown going to the Pacers on 2 years, 45 mil. That's good on that man.
Yeah,
And then you
yeah,
got
he
the
got a bag.
Bucks agreeing with Chris Middleton on 3 year, 102 M deal.
Terrible deal. That's
Jakob
terrible.
Poeltl, 4 years to the Raptors. Cam Johnson, 4 years, a buck 08. I ain't mad at these deals, bro. Like who?
The
Let me
only
ask
one
you
I'm
this.
mad about is that Middleton one because he didn't play a lot last year. You
Well,
should
let
have got him at a discount.
well let me ask you this. All right, which one do you like the best?
Which one? Oh, out of all of them?
Yeah, out of all of these, which one do
Oh,
you like?
the Gabe Vincent one is amazing. You're getting a guard that can start, and you're getting him for $11 million. That's an incredible deal.
Well, you said who again?
The Gabe Vincent deal to the Lakers. That's an amazing deal.
I mean, he played real well this past
Hmm.
playoffs. I'm
And
curious
I
if
feel like he could complement LeBron.
yeah. Now I will say this. I'm curious if it continues, but for $33 million, 3 years is a little shaky. 3 years is a little interesting, but I'm okay with $11 million of the budget being gone because again, he showed as a starter, he shows effort, comes from that Heat culture, so I'm not mad at that. I'm really not mad at that.
I,
Um,
I'm not a big fan of Kyrie going back to the Mavs.
I don't mind it because you don't have anything else going for you, respectfully. Like
The only
you
reason
really
why is
you
because that's Luca's team. Like I don't want that's so bad defensively in a starting lineup.
not
It's so
really, not
bad.
really, because and you so you got Kyrie who at least has shown to try, and then you got Luca who maybe has not. So I'll give you that. But you also got players like Josh Green. I think they could have utilized Christian Wood a little bit more last year. Same with JaVale McGee. So I think they do have players that can complement those two when you're talking about defense because they're going to bring up a lot of offense. So you gotta have players to complement. You also want one more player to help complement because I mean I like Timmy. Don't get me wrong, Timmy cool, but Tim Hardaway is my third option offensively. I personally feel like I can do a little bit better. But because of how Luca and Kyrie are kind of like, they're 1 and 3. So I need that next person to be like a big. I don't need my guard being
You
that.
know who they should go after?
Who you got?
Brooke Lopez.
I mean, Brooke Lopez at age 36, 37 be a nice little addition to the team. I thought of
Hey,
Nikola
he's
Vucevic.
37.
Yeah, 36, 37. I thought of Nikola Vucevic for a second, but he just got a nice little 3 year extension by the Bulls. I don't know why the Bulls are trying to do that. Maybe they could try to blow it up and then get someone like Derek Lively off the Mavs, which I do think people need to pay attention to. Derek Lively from Duke, be patient with him. He was a former number one. No. He was no. He was a number one player out of high school, then got an injury. And then got injured. And it's when you came into Duke, you
No,
saw
I'm
him.
not. I was only laughing because he's from Duke. I didn't know he was
Yeah,
from
that's
Duke.
why I always say that because like I know he's from Duke and I know people, and I'm a Duke fan, so I don't want to know. I don't want to think it's biased. Like I'm genuinely saying be patient with him. But if you can flip him for someone like Boosie right now, I would entertain that. That would be interesting. But I think they need some type of big man to help him out a little bit more too. And from a defensive standpoint, I don't know if Boosie can get the job done. Miles Turner would be ideal though. I would say that would, and you do have the pieces to make that trade happen. So, but Kyrie is interesting. I really like the Jeremy Grant pickup. Like I really like the Jeremy
Yeah,
Grant.
and I like that too because he improves every year.
Yep, and
Every
he's a
single year.
nice lanky forward. He was on the Nuggets in 2020, and that was the team that went to the finals. He did real well for them, so he showed he can perform in the playoffs as well. But not to mention too, what I feel like this deal does is I wonder if we gonna like I wonder if this help keeps Dame in house. I think Jeremy Grant's like 28 right now. So by the end of this trade, by the end of this deal, he'll be like 33.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if this means that they're trying to keep Damian Lillard. Because if they're not, I mean, Grant is somebody who you can try to finesse on the deal for somebody else, or get a couple pieces back. Because you're not going to win as the Blazers if you don't have Damian Lillard on your squad.
Right.
So that
I feel like they're trying to keep Dame.
I hope so, and I hope that's what this is saying too, bro. Because like, if that is that's smart on their part. I personally say the Blazers.
Even though I would have loved to see him on the Nets, that would have been an amazing team to watch. Oh my god, that and the Heat, those two
would have been
teams.
interesting teams, especially with how the Heat look this year. But I will say I like Shaden Sharp. I did see reports that they're not trying to bring back Cam Reddish, which that does hurt me because I do like Cam Reddish, especially on that team.
Me too.
And Cam Reddish is someone who people sleep on. It's highly disappointing. I'm not.
I ain't gonna lie to you. The Lakers could pick him up.
We should pick him up, but we're not going to. I bet you. But yeah, no. Like in terms of them, like they're making some good pickups. Also, Scoot Henderson's on that team as well. So they need another big, and then they'd be good to go for real. I don't like Nurkic at all. But now these NBA, these NBA free agents though, they looking kind of smooth, my boy. What we gonna do? I ain't gonna keep you up here too long. Just wanted to make sure I gave the folks one more time for the one time at what we see today. Because it's day damn one, Vivian. It's day damn one. So there's gonna be more trades next time we talk, next time we see happen. But before we do, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to say thank you, Devin, for coming on the show. I greatly appreciate it. Did you have anything you want to say before we close up shop?
I want to give a quick shout out to my photography and videography company that I just joined, called NFA, No Filter All Explicit. Check us out on Instagram. Give us a like. I just got done shooting in Florida at Disney World for my vacation. I got some fire pictures up there. Show us some love, please.
Okay, got you. Now I'll definitely do that. Send me the link and we'll definitely get that popping, my boy.
You.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we will end the show. I greatly appreciate you all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. Devin, again, I appreciate you for joining. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, again, also continue to watch the WNBA. League Pass is only $25. It ain't that damn much. Pay some money.
And if you got cable, there's so many games on cable now.
Prime too as well.
Yep, like come on.
Yeah, they got some games up there as well, ladies and gentlemen. So
definitely they be cooking when they on TV. Hey, Lady Aces all the way though. Lady Aces.
Bandwagoners. It's so crazy. I'm a smart fan until I die. Y'all know how we do. But now I hope you all enjoy it. Take care.
I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.